Hello, it's me again. Welcome back. Okay, here's the plan for today. I've got a bit of a silly idea, but I think it should be fun. We're going to scan some negative film using the Fuji Frontier SP-500, but we're going to tell it it's positive film. Then we're going to take that scan and convert it using Negative Lab Pro. What do you reckon? So first, I scan the negative normally. I've set the Frontier to scan it as color negative film, and it performs its usual magic. This is our reference. It's the result of both the Frontier scanner and Fuji software working together. Then I loaded the same film again, but this time I told the Frontier it was scanning positive film, and straight away something interesting happened. The Frontier's automatic frame detection seemed to go a bit funky as a result. It still feeds the film, but it can't seem to work out where one frame ends and the next begins. But that was an easy fix. I just had to manually reposition the scanning zone for each frame as it came through. Now, this isn't raw sensor data in the same way a DSLR raw scan is. The SP-500 has still performed some processing here, because much like its big brother, the SP-3000, it scans using a monochromatic sensor and separate red, green, and blue LEDs. But the key thing here is it hasn't performed its normal color negative conversion. So now we have an orange uninverted scan from a Fuji Frontier, which we can take into Lightroom and allow Negative Lab Pro to interpret. First, I converted it without making any additional adjustments, and this is what Negative Lab Pro gave me. And look, it is nowhere near the same as the normal Frontier scan. The color balance is different, the saturation is different. Even as I'm playing around with the white balance, I'm noticing the blue in the sky and the color of his skin are not matching up at all. Trying to pull magenta out of his skin adds too much green to the sky, and vice versa. This shot started to make me a little bananas, so I moved on to see if I had a bit more luck converting another one. Here's a nice one with some strong shadows, but we're still getting blasted by that gorgeous sunlight. And straight out the gate, nope. That does not match the Frontier look at all, despite being scanned on the Frontier. I think whatever Negative Lab Pro is doing under the bonnet is really steering the ship here, and I suspect a mutiny. I've put the straight Frontier scan up next to me while I'm tweaking because I'm interested to see if I can get them looking close. You'll notice I even go into the HSL tab and play around because in my last video, someone in the comments suggested changing that could help my colors. But look, I'm not convinced. Even though I'm getting close to having the grey of the asphalt match, other colors are still drifting apart. It looks to me like Negative Lab Pro has a very specific color science that is making it almost impossible to match. Now, before we go any further, I need you to know I actually like Negative Lab Pro. I've been using the software now for the past 6 years or so, but I do have my gripes. And color is often something I find myself fighting to wrangle, as well as consistency between frames. Now, a really good Negative Lab Pro conversion can look better than a lab scan to me. But that is not all the time. And I think consistency and being able to rely on it to give me a good result every time is crucial, which is where I think the Frontier with its original software shines. But let's go back to our experiment because I think we're overdue for a win. With this photo, the result it first spat out was quite flat and neutral. Just for a bit of fun, I'm going to go back to the HSL styles and select a different one. Let's go with Crystal. Now, I remember there was some nice yellow late afternoon sun spilling in through the back window, so I'm going to flick through the white balance options to see if one manages to get it. Auto warm seems pretty close. Let's just tweak that a little bit. And hey, we're pretty close. Look, there are some slight tonal differences if you look at the way the sunlight is rendered on the watch face. It's warm and buttery on the straight Frontier scan, and the skin of his arms feels vibrant and a bit more alive. But this isn't bad. I'll take it. Let's go for another watch one. Okay, this one is already a bit harder to balance, but once I get something that looks okay, I'm going to bring up the Frontier scan to compare them, and yeah, that color is super different. I'm going to try and match the color of his shirt just to see how much that throws out his skin tone. Yeah, okay. And now the opposite. Let's try to get a nicer skin tone. Ooh, yep, but then the shirt moves away again. Whatever I do, I can get certain parts close, but I can't get the whole image to match. So, what's the moral of the story? Well, I think it's safe to say Negative Lab Pro has a look, and it's a pretty different look to the Frontier, even when you give it a positive film scan scanned on the Frontier. And even though Negative Lab Pro has its own quote-unquote frontier setting, there's a lot to think about here. Perhaps break into groups of 4 and discuss. I'll see you in the next one.